Welcome back to Lease Companion's YouTube channel. In today's video, we will be going over how leasing works and how you can calculate the monthly or total cost of your lease. Before we get started, please subscribe and like the video. It helps us out a lot and we really appreciate it. When it comes to leasing a car, the following information is critical to calculating your monthly payment: MSRP, selling price, incentives and rebates, residual value, and money factor. Every car has a retail price, and you can find it on the window sticker at a dealership or the dealer's website as shown here. Selling price. This is the actual selling price of the car before any incentives or taxes. Most people are able to negotiate this, however, in today's 2022 market, you commonly find cars over MSRP. Ordering a custom vehicle is a viable option when seeking some form of discount towards a new vehicle. A discount from the dealer is commonly referred to in the industry as the dealer's contribution toward the deal. Rule of thumb is that most makes have approximately a 10% margin between MSRP and the dealer's true bottom line. Incentives and rebates. These are programs offered to consumers or dealers to attract new car sales. The most common programs are cash rebates, subsidized financing, incentivized lease rates, and dealer marketing support. Cash rebates, subsidized financing, or lease rates are provided directly to the consumer. These are essentially monies or lower than market interest rates directly from the manufacturer in which you apply towards the cost of your auto lease or finance to lower it. Marketing support is money from the manufacturer directly to the dealer to help move cars. Keep in mind that this is independent of the dealer's monetary contribution towards the deal to earn your business. Dealers may unscrupulously present this as their contribution towards the deal. EV credits. All electric and plug-in hybrid cars purchased in or after 2010 may be eligible for a federal income tax credit of up to $7,500. The credit amount will vary based on the capacity of the battery used to power the vehicle. State and/or local incentives may also apply. When leasing a vehicle, you as the lessee have no ownership rights to the vehicle. The lessor has legal ownership of the vehicle. For example, with BMW Financial Services holds legal ownership. With Mercedes-Benz Financial Services, and for Jeep, Chrysler Capital. Hence, the lessor would be entitled to the EV credit and may or may not elect to pass that credit to the lessee. When this happens, the lessee then takes advantage of the dollar amount up to a massive $7,500 being put forth as capitalized cost reduction. Divide that over a 36-month period and you knock off approximately $200 off the lessee's monthly lease payment. Residual value. The manufacturer's estimate of the car's value after a set period of time and annual mileage a car will go through during the term of the lease. The residual value is expressed as a percentage of the MSRP. Again, this estimate is only set by the manufacturer. It cannot be controlled by not even the dealerships. The residual is also the amount you would pay the bank if you decided you wanted to purchase your leased car at the end of the term. Money factor. This is the interest rate, but expressed in a different way for a lease, specifically as a decimal number. You multiply the money factor by 2,400 to get the equivalent annual percentage rate, also known as APR. For example, for a 36-month term on a BMW M340, BMW Financial Services offers a buy rate money factor of 0.00190, which in terms of an interest rate is 4.56%. Dealers can mark up the buy rate offered from the lender to earn additional profit on the back end of the deal. For example, BMW can mark up the rate on any car up to 0.00040 points, Mercedes-Benz by up to 0.00150 points, and CDJR by up to 0.00073 points. And for financing, the same concept applies. Dealers can also mark up the APR to obtain additional profit. Lease terms and mileage allotments. The residual and money factor typically vary as the term and mileage allotment for the lease vary. Lease term is simply the length of the lease expressed in months. It can vary from 24, 30, 36, 39, 42, and 48 months. A 36-month term typically has the best overall leasing program. Mileage allotment is simply the annual mileage permitted to be placed onto the vehicle. When you sign your lease, you're allowed to drive a certain number of miles annually. If you exceed that, you'll be charged a fee, usually assessed in cents per mile. They can be high, from 15 to 25 cents per additional mile over. If you think you're going to go over the mileage limit, you can add extra miles when you sign your lease agreement for a small increase in payment as a result of the residual value dropping. This will likely be cheaper than paying the overage later. If you do go over the miles, but you've decided to buy the car when the lease is over, you will not be charged for going over the allotted miles. The standard published by manufacturers is at 15,000 miles annually. The residual is increased at the following rates: for 12,000 miles and added 2%, for 10,000 miles and added 3%, and 7,500 miles and added 4%. So here's the big picture. Keep in mind the variables commonly referred to as lease programs referenced earlier, residual, money factor, and rebates and incentives, are published periodically, usually monthly, and may vary as they are republished. Also keep in mind that when ordering a vehicle, certain manufacturers may permit you to lock in programs while others do not. Jeep and Ford, for example, permit you to lock programs if the offer from the manufacturer's captive bank is incentivized. BMW locks program variables such as money factor, residual, and rebates for 90 days, and Audi and Mercedes-Benz do not. So simply put, if your programs cannot lock, regardless of the discount being locked, your payment may change if you order an Audi and if it arrives months later. Now that we went over some of the critical concepts, here is how you can calculate your lease. In broad terms, you calculate a lease by determining and adding the depreciation fee plus a monthly sales tax and financing fee. If you're looking to calculate your payment manually, here is the formula. Start with the sticker price of the car, take the MSRP and multiply it by the residual percentage, and this equals the residual value. Then take the negotiated selling price of the car, add in the fees to get the gross capitalized cost, subtract your down payment and rebates, referred to as capitalized cost reduction. This is then your adjusted capitalized cost. Subtract the residual value from the adjusted capitalized cost. This is your depreciation amount. Divide the depreciation amount by the number of months in your lease. This will be your base payment. Add the adjusted capitalized cost and the residual value. Take the sum and multiply it by money factor. This is your monthly rent charge. Add the rent charge to your base payment to get your pre-tax lease payment. Then multiply your tax rate by the pre-tax lease payment to get the total lease payment. Let's take a look at some actual program data from Chrysler Capital, the captive bank for CDJR. Step 1. Find your new ride. For simplicity, we will build a new Jeep Wrangler 4xe and run a lease payment scenario by hand. For this scenario, here are some things you want to keep in mind. Step 2. Determine lease programs. Now, lease program data at times can be found via a simple Google search. Luckily, Chrysler Capital publishes programs publicly. So for the residual, we can see that the Jeep Wrangler Unlimited 4xe Rubicon has a 36-month residual of 60%. As mentioned earlier, most program residuals are published at the 15,000 annual mileage rate. So we can then add 3% to the residual for a 10,000 mile lease. Money factor. The buy rate money factor presented for our selected vehicle is 0.00205 for Tier 1 credit. Tier 2 and beyond are something a subpar credit score can place you in. A safe bet is a 740 plus credit score, and auto history can place you into Tier 1. Going back to back-end profit, the buy rate can be marked up by up to 0.00073 points to 0.00278. Unscrupulous finance managers may present a bump in your money factor as a credit tier issue. Simply asking for your approval in writing can give you the facts. Step 3. Calculate your gross capitalized cost. Start off by taking the negotiated selling price of your car. So for example, this build has an MSRP of $59,999. A dealer contribution of 10% off MSRP results in an agreed upon value of $53,991. Then add any items you decide to pay for over the lease term, such as service contracts, fees, and taxes. Acquisition fee, sometimes called the bank fee, is an administrative fee charged by the manufacturer's captive bank. It is imposed on nearly all leases and is not a dealer profit. However, some manufacturers do provide the dealer flexibility to mark up the acquisition fee by a few $100s for dealer profit. For example, Chrysler Capital permits marking up the acquisition fee by $300, as does Mercedes-Benz Financial. In turn, BMW Financial does not permit marking up of the acquisition fee. Sales tax. In most states, you only pay sales tax on leased portion of the vehicle and others on monthly payment. For example, Florida. However, some states such as Texas, Virginia, and Maryland impose sales tax on the selling price of the car. Tax incentives. In most states, you will also pay sales tax on any capitalized cost reductions, such as the down payment and any customer rebates. License, registration, and title fees. Often referred to as governmental fees, this would include vehicle registration, title, and the like. This will likely include a title runner fee, which is imposed by a third party that the dealership hires to process your registration and tags. This typically accounts for $100 to $200. Dealer documentation and processing fee. These are imposed by the dealer. In California, documentation fees are capped at $80, Maryland at $500, and in Florida and Virginia, where document fees are not regulated, they can run upwards of $800. Service and protection contracts, and other add-ons. Although this is becoming rare, sometimes you'll find shady dealers charging hundreds of dollars for paint sealant, VIN etching, and the like. Service contracts can be beneficial, especially with Audi, who bumps your residual when opting in, and Mercedes-Benz, who also residualizes the cost. Protection contracts, such as road hazard, commonly referred to as wheel and tire protection, on certain vehicles may also be beneficial given the right purchase price. Keep in mind that service contracts may be significantly marked up, and dealers heavily rely on them to make back-end profit margin. Okay, so going back to our example, remember that the vehicle we chose had the agreed upon value of $53,991. The acquisition fee is $0. Florida taxes are $0. License, registration, and title fees, $500. Dealer documentation and processing fee, another $500. And service contracts and add-ons, $0. So the gross capitalized cost here is $54,991. Moving on to step 4, determining your capitalized cost reduction. Any rebates or cash down are taken out here. The acquisition fee, taxes on incentives, governmental fees, and document fees are often paid up front along with the first month's payment. However, most manufacturers will allow you to add these fees to the capitalized cost if you wish to just pay your first month out of pocket. Moving on to step 5, determining adjusted capitalized cost. Adjusted capitalized cost equals the gross capitalized cost minus the capitalized cost reduction. So for this case, $54,991 minus $7,500 equals $47,491. Determine your base monthly payment. Proceed to subtract the residual value from the adjusted capitalized cost. This is your depreciation amount. Divide the depreciation amount by the number of months in your lease. This will be your base payment if you intended to register the vehicle in a state that levies taxes on your monthly payment. Step 6. Calculate monthly finance rent charge. Aside from depreciation, you will also pay a finance charge. Add the adjusted capitalized cost and the residual value. Take the sum and multiply it by the money factor. This is your monthly rent or finance charge. Lease payment. By getting the base payment, including depreciation, adding finance charge, and for this case, it would be $269.36 plus $174.83, and that comes out to $444.19. Since this lease is in Florida, the tax will be levied on the monthly payment, hence we have to add 7% sales tax to the monthly payment. Now, you can lower your payment by increasing cash out of pocket as capitalized cost reduction, in effect reducing your adjusted capitalized cost. If you reside in a state where tax is levied on the total lease payment or sales price, or taxable incentives apply, simply add the tax to your gross capitalized cost with the option to pay upfront as a capitalized cost reduction. Here is a New York example. Tax rate is 8.875% on the total lease payment. Take the tax-free lease payment of $444.19 and multiply the term by 36 months. So $15,990 times 8.875 is $1,419.19 in taxes. Add the amount as the capitalized cost. So the base payment for this would be $47,491 plus $1,419.19. The sum of that minus $37,794, then divided by 36, and you will get $308.07. Now to get the finance and rent charge, you want to get the $47,491, add that with $1,419.19, and then add the sum of that, $37,794, multiplying it by the money factor, which is 0.00205, and then you will get the finance rent charge of $177.74. Now to finally get the lease payment, you want to get the base payment, including the depreciation, and that will finally give you the lease payment of $486.52. Now let's make some money on the back end with a hefty discount. See how your payment of $475 can dramatically increase with your knowledge. So using the money factor buy rate of 0.00205 plus 0.00073 point markup, the new money factor of 0.00278, the base payment on the Florida example stays the same. However, the finance/rent charge goes up. So as you can see here, by comparing the two prices, adding that many points or 1.752% to the deal increases your payment by $62.26 a month or $2,241.36 for the term of the lease. This then, as a net result, drops your 10% discount by 3.74% to 6.26%. Keep in mind, this includes any bogus add-ons and acquisition fee markups. Overall, the goal here is to look at the net deal when shopping as more than one variable existing beyond the dealer discount. As you saw in this video, there is quite a bit of math and research involved in gathering the information needed to accurately quoting a vehicle. Now you could follow all the steps I mentioned, but if you want to skip all the work and research and save yourself some more time, feel free to reach out to us here at Lease Companion. We do charge a fee, but in the end, you will still be saving time, headache, and thousands of dollars on your vehicle. You'll get a great deal on the front end and no markup on the back end with a 100% guaranteed discount when we link you to the dealership. You can either pick up your vehicle or get it shipped to you anywhere in the US at your expense. We also have reviews on Google from our past clients that we have helped save thousands of dollars from all types of cars. You can also get in touch with us and talk to a real team member for any questions or for more information. If you found this video helpful, please hit the subscribe and like button, and to keep closer tabs on up-to-date car deals, follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok. Visit leasecompanion.com/inquire to get started, and don't forget to subscribe, like, and comment for more great car content.